If you've ever applied way too much torque to something and ended up snapping it off, go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe, because in the future I'm going to be doing a rebuild on a V8 Hemi. We've already got the block and the heads down at a shop in Ogden, getting port and polished and honed. So please stick around for that. First things first, guys, I'm going to blow out the engine bay so that when I crack the intake plenum and take that part out, there's no debris or anything that can fall inside the engine. Next thing I'm going to do is remove the air intake box. That way I'll have nothing hanging up on our throttle body when we go to remove the intake plenum. That clip was broken, so that took me a while. Oh yeah. You have one clip on the top here, and then you have one on the underside for your air intake. You'll need to loosen one 10mm bolt right here to get the intake out. You're going to detach this hose from the valve cover. Just go ahead and pull it off. And then the air intake box should just lift straight up and out. Now for the intake plenum, we're going to undo two plugs, one right here, one right here. And then there's two nuts on this side that you'll need to undo. And it looks like three hoses in the back that you'll have to detach. For these Chrysler clips, you pull the red part back, or sometimes you push it to the side, and then you can actually depress the clip and detach it. Sometimes it's easier to use like a flathead screwdriver or something if you can't get your finger in there to depress the clip. Right now I'm loosening two 10mm nuts on this side so that the metal clips won't hold the intake plenum from coming out. Now I'm going to go ahead and loosen the 7 10mm bolts so that we can take the intake plenum off. If you don't have an air ratchet like I do, you can use a hand ratchet or even a socket attachment for a cordless drill. transmission fluid tube just clips in the back here, so you'll just need to unclip that. I'm using a 13mm wrench to go ahead and loosen 2 bolts on this side and 2 bolts on this side to get this bar out of the way. This is what the underside of the intake plenum looks like. This blue part that you can see right here is your intake gasket. And these are the retained bolts I was mentioning. You have your 3 hose plugs right here. And then this one right here is for this coolant line right back here that just pushes in there. We need to unplug each coil pack and undo the 10mm bolt holding it in place and remove those coil packs. Once you're to this point, you can put in your new coil packs and follow the steps in reverse and reassemble your car.